Hello everyone, am I audible? Okay, let's start with today's session. In the last class, we looked at if else, loops, nested loops, and we started with pattern printing problems. And we even looked at a very basic question in the last class. In this class, we will build upon that topic and we will move to a slightly variant of that particular pattern printing problem. So in this class, we are not just going to write the code for a pattern, we are going to learn how to think when a pattern problem comes in front of us. So that is the most important part because there can be n number of patterns possible, and if I tell you the code for this pattern, there can be other pattern which comes and you won't know how to write the code for that. So instead of just writing the code in this class, we need to focus on how to think when you see a pattern. And one thing I want to tell you is that in programming questions, the better you observe a problem, the easier it becomes for you. If you are a good observer, you will be able to solve a problem no matter how difficult it is. And how do you build that observation? It is built only when you have solved n number of problems. The more you solve, the more you observe, and the more you observe, the better your observation is. Okay, and that is what we are going to see in today's class, like how do we observe a pattern and how then it translates to code. Okay, so let's recap what we learned in the last class. For every pattern printing problem, we need to focus on just three steps. One is number of rows, okay, then number of columns in each row, and then what do we need to print. Okay, just three steps we need to focus. If we are able to figure out these steps, we can solve any pattern printing problem. Okay, so let's start with this pattern. Now, as I said, we will first figure out number of rows. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Total 4 rows. All right. Okay. Next, we will figure out number of columns in each row. But let's just first write the loop for number of rows. We know that we need to print 4 rows. So first loop will always be for number of rows. So we will write a loop which can run 4 times. Okay. So here I have written a loop which will go from 1 till 4, and this is a very simple loop which will run 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Next, we need to figure out number of columns in each row. Okay. For this, let's observe the pattern carefully. In first row, we have one column. In second row, we have two columns. In third row, we have three columns, and in fourth row, we have four columns. Right? So if the number of row is x, x can be 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have x row, the number of columns will always be equal to x. For third row, we have 3 columns. It means the row number is also third, the column number is also third. Okay, number of columns are also 3. If the row number is 4, the column number is also 4. What does it tells you? It tells that the column number depends on the row number. The column number depends on the row number, because if I have row number 2, I have 2 columns. If I have row number 3, I have 3 columns. That means the column number is depending on the row number. Which means when I will write the loop for columns, I should include the row somehow so that my column is dependent on row. When I write the loop for columns, it should be visible that it is dependent on row. So I am starting with 1. Okay, let's see. This second row has 2 columns. That means for row number 2, the column loop should run 2 times, 1 and 2. It should run 2 times. That means my column's maximum limit will always be less than or equal to r. If the row is third, if third row we have, I can have 1 column, I can have 2 column, and I can have maximum 3 column because I have third row. That means the maximum limit is defined by row. Okay, so C should be either less or it should be either equal to R. And as I said, since my column number is dependent on row, I should include my row somehow in the conditions so that it is clearly visible that my column is dependent on R. Okay, if I write instead of R, if I write 4, what will happen? My loop will run 4 times every time, but I don't want 4 columns in each row. Okay, so that is dependent on R. If R is 4, the maximum columns will be 4. Okay. So this is my loop for row, this is my loop for column. And next we have our third step, what to print. We need to print a simple symbol. We know that after printing all columns, we need to change the line as well. So we write like this. So this is the code for this particular pattern. Okay. Now, if you notice, this below pattern has the same shape as the above one. It's just that earlier we were printing a symbol and now we are printing numbers. That means these two steps will remain same. We will not change it. We just need to figure out this third step for this pattern. Okay. And as I said, we need to observe the pattern carefully. If you observe the pattern, you will see there are 2 types of increment going on. One increment is like this, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is one increment, and the other increment is in this direction. That means row wise increment is also going on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are actually looking at two-way increment. We are incrementing in column as well, and we are incrementing in row as well. That means we just need to do some changes for this part and our code will be complete. So what I'll do is I'll just remove this print statement and I'll keep everything same because we have same shape. We will not change anything. But now we are printing a number. If we are printing a number, what we can do is I can take another variable first, right? And let's print another number. I'm taking like this. Okay, I've taken two numbers. Let's forget about this one. Let's focus on this first. Int y equals to 1. And I'm trying to print it here. And as we can see, the number is getting incremented. So what I'll do is, as soon as we print it, we will increment it here. Okay, let's see what we will get, if we get this pattern or not. Okay, we might have to do some changes more, but let's see what we get. I'm not counting x for now. I'm just taking y here. I'm printing y, and as we see that the number is getting incremented, so every time we print y, I am doing y plus plus. All right. So let's see what will happen. Initially, when I declare y equals to 1, I will get 1 printed. Then this column loop is running for only one time. Initially, the column loop will run for only one time. Then we will change the line. When we change the line, we again come from top and we again start from 1. When we again start from 1, that means when I print y, I will again get 1 here. Then I'll do y plus plus. Then I'll get 2 here. Which means I am not getting the output which I was expecting. I need this and I have this. I need 2 here and 3 here. Now, as I said, there are two types of counting going on. One is row wise and another one is column wise. I have taken two separate variables. If you see, my column is getting incremented, but the initial number, the first number of every row is plus 1 from the previous row. If this was 2, this is 3. If this is 3, next one is 4. Which means if I can track the number which was earlier, I can just increment it. So what I'll do is, I will say, okay, this x will be responsible for first numbers, and then y will keep printing on these numbers. Rest of the numbers, we can use y. So I will make a slight change here. So I will write it like this. I will take the value from x because x is deciding the first number. And we know that every row has an increment. So after we have done all the columns, we have changed the line. I can do x plus plus. Sorry. Okay, now let's see what happens. So let me erase this pattern. I need some space here. I have x equals to 1 initially. I'm starting with r equals to 1. Okay, I'm assigning x into y, that means y will also be 1. Then I have c equals to 1. So I have noted down the initial values. Now we come into this loop because this condition is true. We will print y. Currently, what is y? It is 1. Okay, this seems fine. We do y plus plus, y is incremented. After the loop, we will do c plus plus. C plus plus, after C plus plus, we will check this condition again. Is 2 is less than equals to 1. This condition becomes false. That means we will come here, printf slash n, that means we come to next line, and x plus plus, which means we have now 2 value. Right? When we are done with all the lines, this line will run r plus plus because this is the last thing of the loop, r plus plus, which means we will increment it. We will check the condition 2 is less than equals to 4. This is true. We will again create a new y and assign x to it. So that means y will be created again, and the current value of x will be assigned, which is 2. Now again we will make c equals to 1. This condition is again true. 1 is less than equals to 2. So we will print y. What do we have in y? We have 2. Then we do y plus plus 3. After all this, we will increment c. We will again check the condition. 2 is less than equals to 2. This condition is true. We will again print y. What do we have in y? 3. We will do y plus plus. This becomes 4. We will do c plus plus. This becomes 3. 3 is less than equals to 2. Condition becomes false. We come to next line. Line is changed. X plus plus. That means x equals to 3. And so on. If you go now, next time x is 3, so we will assign that to y. So we will start from 3, 4, 5, and so on. So this is how it will work. So if you see, if the shape was same, we just changed few things and we were able to write our code perfectly fine. So you need to observe. I was able to observe that there are two different counts going. So I made two variables. Now, remember that in pattern printing problems, there are multiple ways to print a pattern. This is not the only correct code for this. Remember that this is not the only correct code for this. There can be other code which will result into same pattern. Okay, so I have written this pattern. If you go on internet, you type this pattern, you might get different code. So it is perfectly fine. You just need to solve the problem according to your own logic. You don't need to cram the logic. You need to make the logic according to what you are able to observe. Okay, so just remember, the first loop will always be for number of rows. The next loop inside will be for number of columns, and then we decide what do we need to print, and after that we just change the line and all these things. Okay, so this is one of the patterns. Now let's look at this pattern. Okay, this is a different pattern. This has a different shape. That means our loop conditions for rows and columns will be changed. So let's look at them. Again, we will follow those three steps. What are the number of rows? So we have 4 number of rows. So we will write a very simple loop. Okay. Remember that to run a loop 4 times also you can write it in a multiple ways. I showed in the previous class. I can start from 0. I can use r less than 4. I can start from 4 and I can go till 1. So there are multiple ways to run a loop a certain times. Okay. So we have written the loop for number of rows. We have 4 rows. Now let's see what are the number of columns. In the first row, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 columns. In the second row, we have 3 columns. In the third row, we have 2 columns. And in the last row, we have only 1 column. Unlike previous pattern, in this, we can't find any such logic of that if the number of row is first, we have 1 column, the number of row is 1, we have 2 columns. It was true for previous pattern, but this is not true for this pattern. But you can agree with one thing, that with the number of rows, our number of columns are also changing. In the first row, we have 4 columns. In the second row, we have 3 columns. And in the third row, we have 2 columns. That means as the number of rows are getting changed, the number of columns are also getting changed. That means we need to do something with the R variable, because that is what representing my row. But how do we figure out the logic? So what we can do is, since we have started with 1, I can somehow think of it like this. Just note this, that this is my first row, this is my second row, this is my third row, this is my fourth row. Okay. What if I start from 4 and go till 1? Okay, this comes from the thought that every row is changing, and in every row the number of columns are also changing. So that means somehow the column is dependent on the row. Okay, this is 4, 3, 2, 1. For this we will go 4, 3, 2. For this we will go 4, 3. For next we will go till 4 only. If you notice the last number here, you will see that this last number is equal to the row number 2. If I'm going 4, 3, 2, 1, that means this is row number 1. If I am going 4, 3, 2, that means till row number 2. If I'm going 4, 3, that means row number 3. If I'm going till 4, row number 4. It means I can start my column number from 4 and I can go till last one, which is equal to the row number, which is my R. Okay, so 4 till R, I'm decreasing. So I have put greater than equal to sign. And I will decrease it, C minus minus. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm decreasing it. So C minus minus. I've started with 4 because in every row I will start with 4. Okay, and I will go till R because the last number represents the R only. Now I will just simply print this pattern. What do we need to print, which is our third step, and we will change the line. Okay, we will change the line. So this is our pattern. Let's just try to figure out if we have written the correct code or not. So we'll again, what we'll do, we'll write all the variables. We will starting R is equals to 1. This condition will be true, 1 less than equals to 4. This will be true. We will come inside the loop and C equals to 4. We will check if this condition is true. 4 is greater than equal to 1, which is true. So we will print X. Okay. We will do C minus minus 3 minus 3. We will again check if the condition is still true. 3 is greater than equal to 1. Condition is true. We will print. We will again do C minus minus 2. We will again check the condition. the condition is true or not. It is true, so we will print x. We will again do c minus minus 1. 1 is greater than equal to 1. It is still true. We'll print x. Again do c minus minus 0. We will again check the condition. Is 0 greater than equal to 1? No, it is not true. So we will come out of this loop and we will go to next line. That means here. Now when this complete part is done, we will do r plus plus. That means our variable is here. Okay. Now we will again come to this part. That means we will again start from c equals to 4. So I will rub all of this and I will start from c equals to 4. The condition will be evaluated. 4 is greater than equal to 2. It is true. And we will print x. C minus minus, that means we will do this 3. 3 greater than equals to 2. It is true. Then again C minus minus. 2 is greater than equals to 2. It is again true. C minus minus 1. Is 1 greater than equals to 2? No, it is false. That means we will come out of this loop and we will do printf and we go to next line. Okay. After all this, r will be incremented to 3. We will again start from c equals to 4. That means like this. Is 4 greater than equals to 3? Condition is true. We will print it. C minus minus. Is 3 greater than equals to 3? Condition is true. C minus minus. Is 2 greater than equals to 3? No, it's not. We will come out of the loop and we will move to next line. At last we have r equals to 4. We will again start with c equals to 4. Okay. We will check, is 4 greater than equals to 4? It is true. We will print it. C minus minus, that means, is 3 greater than equals to 4? No. We will come out of this loop, slash n will be printed, and when we go next, our r will become 5, and when the condition is evaluated is 5 less than equals to 4, it is false. So we will come out of the whole loop and our pattern is here. So this is how step by step each of the line is working. As I said, you need to observe the pattern. You need to somehow figure out the relation between number of rows, number of columns. And if you observe the pattern, you will be able to do it. As the more you practice, the more well you will be able to do it. Okay. So let's look at next pattern. Okay, this pattern is very different from what we did in the first two pattern. Why? Because it has a separate element. Okay, it has a completely separate element here. So earlier we were doing two things. We were doing number of rows, number of columns, but here we have one more element for which we need to take care of. Okay, if you see carefully, this A is shifted towards right. Okay, this A is shifted towards right. And how it is shifted towards right? Because we have space here. So I will make it with a different color. Okay, so you can see that first we have 3 spaces and then we have printed our pattern. Similarly, in the next line, we have 2 spaces and then we have printed our line. And in this line we have one space, and in the last line we don't have any space. Okay, that means now we need to think about printing spaces as well. So this pattern has two things to print. First one is the space and the actual pattern. Initial step will be same, figuring out the number of rows, number of columns, but we need to be careful to write the part of space as well. Now, if you notice, as I said, you need to be a very good observer. If you notice this pattern and this pattern, okay, this pattern and this pattern is exactly same if I don't include the space. If I remove the space from here, this A will be shifted here, this AB will be shifted here, and this ABC will be shifted here. That means if I don't have the space, this pattern will become like this pattern only. And we already know how to write the code for this type of pattern. At least we know the shape. So we know how to write the loops for this type of pattern. We just need to include an extra part for the space. Okay. So this is without space, and this is the same pattern with space. Okay, there is no difference in both the patterns except for the space. So what do? We will write the code for this pattern, and then we will see how we can include the code for space, right? First, let's figure out how many number of rows we have. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, 4 number of rows. Let's make it row 1. Okay, so we have 4 number of rows. Next, let's write the code for this pattern as well. Okay, we know that how to write the loop for columns for this kind of pattern. So I will write it. Again, I'll repeat what we did in the previous patterns. So in first row, we have only one column. In second row, we have two columns. In third row, we have three columns. In fourth row, we have four columns, which means the number of columns, maximum number of columns can be equal to the row number. If I have fourth row, maximum number of columns can be 4. Okay, so that means my columns maximum limit will be R. Since R denotes the row number, so my columns maximum limit will be R. So I have the loop for column as well. Okay, let's forget about the third part. We will see what to print, but for now we know that this and this part will create this shape. Okay, but we don't want to create this shape exactly, we want to create this shape. So we need to have a loop for space. Now if you again observe carefully, you can see the pattern formed by space. Our space has this pattern. Okay, our spaces are following this pattern, and we know we covered this shape in the previous slide. If you see, we had this shape here, and again we are dealing with this shape. So it's actually combining two types of patterns. We just need to observe it. And as I said, before printing the pattern, actual pattern, we need to print the spaces. Before we print patterns, we need to print spaces. That means the loop for space will come before the loop for our pattern. This is the loop for our actual pattern. And since we are printing space before, so we will create a loop before our pattern. So this will be responsible for our space. We will see what conditions we need to write. Okay. Now, first row has three spaces. We have 1, 2, 3. First row has three spaces. Second row has two spaces, and third row has one space. Which means the number of spaces are changing with respect to the number of rows. As we are changing the number of rows, the space is also getting changed. So my space should also be dependent on my row variable, which is r. But how? Earlier, we were going from 4, 3, 2, 1. If you remember the previous slide, we were going from 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I need to go till 4, 3, 2. I need to go till 4, 3, 2. Okay, because I have space till 2 only. So I will start from 4. I will go till r. If I go till here, it will be r, but I want to go till here only, which means whatever r we have plus 1. Whatever r I have here, it will be plus 1. That means if r was 1, I need to go till 2, r plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, 2. So S starts from 4 and go till r plus 1. And we will do S plus, sorry, since we have written greater than symbol, it will be S minus minus. We are decrementing. Right. In this loop, we just need to print the space. Okay, so I'm just printing a space here, nothing else. So our space part is done. We will be able to print this part perfectly fine. We can check for next row as well. For next row, r will be equals to 2. So we are going from 4 greater than equals to r, which is 2 plus 1, 3, which is 3. So we will print space till 3. Okay. So this is our space loop. Now let's come to the actual pattern. We have already figured out the shape, so shape part is done. We just need to calculate the third part, which is what to print, and we can see that we are printing the alphabets. And in this case, we can see the counting is going only in one part. For every row, we are starting with A. So what I'll do is I will choose a character. We know that our new row starts from this position only. This is my loop for row. And for every time it starts, I want a character which starts with A. Okay, I want a character which starts with A. And what I'll do is I'll simply print that character. For character, we use %c format specifier, and we will print that particular character, right? But that character should be incremented as well. From A, we are going to B. From A, then B, then C. That should be incremented. So after printing the character, we will do C++. So as the numbers get incremented. So whenever we do plus plus on a particular number, it gets incremented. Same way, if we do plus plus on a character or alphabets like this, they will also get incremented. You can try that. And after we are done with this column loop, we can simply change the line and we are done. Okay. Now let's try to dry run our code like we did last time. So we will go line by line and see what happens when a particular line is being run. First, r is equals to 1. Our condition is evaluated. R less than equals to 4, which is true. 1 is less than equals to 4. That means we will enter the loop. We have a character starting with A. Okay. Then we have int s equals to 4. We have s equals to 4. We check if s is greater than equals to r plus 1. That means we are checking 4 is greater than equals to 2. R plus 1. R was 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So this condition is true. So we will print a space. Space will get printed. Then we do s minus minus. That means s will be 3. Next we check is s greater than equals to r plus 1, which means 3 greater than equals to r is 1, 1 plus 1, 2. 3 greater than equals to 2. This condition is still true. We will print a space. We are printing a space. S minus minus, that means we go to 2. Next we check the condition is 2 is greater than equals to r plus 1. 2 is greater than equals to r plus 1, which means again 2. This is still true. We will print a space and s minus minus we will go to 1. Now we check is 1 greater than equals to r plus 1. We are checking is 1 greater than equals to 2. This is false. This will not run. We will come out of this loop and we will enter here. So we can't have C here because I have created C here. Let's create another character X. That will create an error if I use same variable name. Okay, so this will be X. Now we go with C equals to 1. It will check if this condition is true. 1 less than equals to R. 1 less than equals to 1. Condition is true. We will print X. What do we have in X? We have A. X plus plus, that means it will become character B. C plus plus, it will become 2. We will check the condition is 2 less than equals to R. Is 2 less than equals to R? No, it is not. False. We will come outside of the loop. We will change the line and we will start from next line. Next loop for R. And as soon as we enter, we again declare X with A. That means this X will become A. Okay, and we will create S equals to 4 again. We will check if S greater than equals to R plus 1, 4 greater than R plus 1. That means 4 greater than 3, greater than equals to 3. So which is true, so we will print a space. S minus minus. Next, we will again check is S greater than equals to R plus 1, 3 greater than equals to 3, which is still true. So we have space. Okay. Next, we have s minus minus. It will again check is 2 greater than equals to 3, r plus 1, which is 3. So it is false. We will come out of this particular loop and we will enter this loop. So we will start with c equals to 1. Is 1 less than equals to 2? True. We will print x. What do we have in x? A. We will do x plus plus, which means override to b. C plus plus 2. Again condition check, 2 less than equals to r. 2 less than equals to r. Condition true. We will print x, which was b. Again x plus plus. Okay, so we have c now. Again we will do c plus plus, which is 3. We will check the condition. Is 3 less than equals to r? It is false. That means we will come out of this loop. We will go to next line and so on. Now you must have got the idea how this particular loop or this particular code is working. This is how we think on a pattern. If we decode a pattern like this, you will never be confused. And this comes with a little bit of practice. Start with very simple patterns and move ahead one by one. Don't directly jump to the trickiest pattern you find. Okay, let's figure out another code for this type of pattern of variation. Let's see. Okay, let's try to decode this pattern. In this pattern, if you see this pattern, this part is shifted towards right because we have a space here. We have 2 spaces here. We have 3 spaces here. All right. So this is the pattern which we actually want to print. Again, we will figure out number of rows. Then we will figure out number of columns. Now, as you can see, the space has this kind of shape, and we have dealt with this shape in the previous slides. We know how to print this shape. Okay, and if we remove the shape, if we remove this space part, this will be the exactly this pattern. Okay, if we remove the spaces, this will be shifted here, this will be shifted here, and this will shift here. So this will become exactly this pattern, and we have already written the code for this pattern. We just need to include the code for space. Right, let's try to write the code. Again, let's take the correct variable. Okay, we have 4 rows. We are printing from 1 to 4. We have to, as I said, before the patterns, we need to print the space. Okay, but we know that how to write the code for this pattern. So let's just cover that part. So for c equals to 4, I'm writing the exact same loop which we wrote for this. So 4, 3, 2, 1, this one number matched with row number. That was the logic. So we need to print very simple symbol and line change. That is done. Okay. Sorry. So we are done with the row number. We are done with the actual pattern loop, and we are done with the line change. We just need to figure out how to write this particular loop, right? So if you notice the first row, in the first row we don't have any space. From second row we have spaces, which means I need to figure out some way which will ensure that I don't print any space first time, right? So if I start S with 1, so first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and my space count starts from here. That means if I start my space with 1 and somehow fail the condition for first row, I want to fail the condition for first row. Let's see if I can do that or not. So S is less than R S plus plus. So what I'm thinking right now is I'm just thinking about failing the condition for first row. And since I have taken S as 1, and if I write 1 less than 1, my condition will be failed. So for first time, this particular loop will not run. And that is correct. I don't want the space to get printed the first time. But I need to check if it is working well for the second time or not. So for the next time, my R will be 2, row number 2. S will again start from 1. So condition will be 1 less than 2. So this is looking fine because I need a space. So this will print a space. Okay, so one space will be printed, but I need to check again. S plus plus. S plus plus means my S will become 2, my R is already 2, so 2 less than 2. The condition will get failed. That means it is working fine. Okay, so I checked for R equals to 1, I checked for R equals to 2, and I'm getting the correct thing, and I have an intuition that this will work very well for 3 and 4 as well. So this is the code for our this particular pattern. This is the space part, this is the actual pattern part, then line change, and that is the whole code. Okay, so you need to be a very good observer to observe these things. If you can observe, you can write the code very well. The more you practice, the more you will be able to observe. Without practice, you will not develop any observation skills. Just remember that. For your practice, if you always think like how should I practice, I'm giving you certain patterns. You can try them one by one. If you are comfortable with one pattern, then only move to the next pattern. So first practice a very simple pattern. A very simple pattern. This should be your first pattern. If you are not able to write any code in the pattern. Next, try this pattern. Next, a variation of this pattern. Okay, let's start with 0. Okay, next you can try this pattern. For the next, you can write next. You can try this one. Okay, so these are the patterns which you can try line by line. I have covered all the types of shapes except for this one, but I'm confident that if you are already comfortable with this kind of shape and these kinds of pattern, this pattern will be very easy for you. You will be able to print it very easily. Okay, so you can just note it down or click a pic. I will be waiting for 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, so this was the class on pattern printing. Um, During the live session, if you get any questions, just post it after the video recording is uploaded, because since it is a 1 hour session, I can't look at the chat and answer the questions as well, because I need to move ahead. If I stop and start answering the questions, I won't be able to move ahead. So I request you to post all your questions once the recording is uploaded, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Okay, so this was the class of pattern printing. Go try some patterns, practice as much as you can, and you will be better after some time. Okay, thank you.